These are my top 10 highlights for ArcGIS Pro 1.2. Number 10, multidimensional mapping for your 2D, 3D, and 4D data. Zooming into the base map for the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, we can watch these two-dimensional data layers come alive as I move in closer. I can then bring this data into a map layout and create a functional map series for each gate at the D terminal to be used by construction workers conducting concrete slab repair. Here we see the map for gate D1, but let's check out D4 and watch as the map series updates automatically. Working with 3D data now, I can channel my inner Top Gun and request permission to buzz the tower on my approach into the terminal. Animations are a new feature in 1.2 and are a great way to show off your data, like these beautiful pictometry buildings. And of course, you can easily share and upload your animations to a number of commonly used video formats. Working with the range slider in Pro, I can apply an interactive definition query to the terminal to examine each of its floors. Starting with the 4th floor ramp tower, I can work my way down to the office and lounge levels to the passenger levels on the 1st and 2nd floors. Working with 4D temporal data is a breeze using the time slider. The FAA has very strict regulations regarding how to maintain the grass on the airport. Adhering to these standards requires precise coordination to systematically shut down each of the individual runways so that the safety zones surrounding them can be entered. Time enabling the data is a great way to visualize all the moving pieces and ensure that maintenance occurs safely and on schedule. With Pro 1.2, your 2D, 3D, and 4D workflows will take off and land on time, every time. Moving on to the next item on my list, which is all about ensuring safe takeoffs and safe landings. Maintaining the thousands of concrete slabs that comprise the airport runway is critical to safety, which brings me to my number 9, smart mapping. Once applied to a layer symbology, similar to the process in ArcGIS Online, the data is interrogated for a numerical field which Pro uses for display. Once applied, however, I still maintain complete control to adjust the symbology using the histogram slider, in this case, to mark critically damaged slabs for repair and replacement. I can also view my data in another way by changing the method used to graduated symbols. This will allow me to view other areas with high concentrations of damaged slabs. So that covers safety on the ground, but there's also the matter of safety in the air. Working with a point data set now, like these wildlife strike locations, I can use smart mapping to quickly make a heat map, allowing me to visualize areas with the most activity. And that's how smart mapping in 1.2 can keep your plane from entering the danger zone. Moving on to number 8, interoperability. You now have the ability to connect to OGC standard services like WMTS, WMS, and WCS. Let's add a server connection to bring in a layer from the US Geological Survey. Interoperability in Pro 1.2 allows you to connect to more data standards than ever before. Once connected to the server, I can view the WCS layer by dragging and dropping it from my project pane into the map viewer. Let's zoom out a little to get a better look at the data set, which is showing the land cover makeup of the area surrounding the airport. With interoperability in Pro 1.2, you can continue using the same OGC standard services you know and depend on. Lucky number 7 on the list is all about Pro's image processing capabilities. The amount of impervious surface to the north of the airport could potentially present a problem for the drainage system that flows beneath the runways. I can use shared tradecraft in my portal to help me classify this high-resolution digital globe imagery. And at this point, I need to apologize to my former Academy professor who's in the audience, Dr. Brockhouse, because I can't quite recall all the details from your very technical remote sensing lectures. But using shared tradecraft in my portal, I can get by through accessing the memories of people who are far, far better than I. With the imagery now classified, I can edit the existing processing chain through using the function chain editor, which is very intuitive for anyone who has used Model Builder before. Searching through the list of available raster functions in Pro, I can continue building on top of my shared tradecraft for whatever needs best suit my workflow. Advanced analysis capabilities occupy the number 6 position on my list. We're going to look at a suitability surface for a wetlands restoration project in Fayette County, just south of the airport. Currently, the airport is planning on building a new runway. The Clean Water Act mandates the creation of new wetlands to offset the environmental impact from any new construction. And due to its proximity, Fayette County is an ideal candidate for the project. Using the new Locate Regions tool in Pro 1.2, you can now automate what was once a laborious and manual process for site selection. Now, it's as simple as filling out the tool parameters and letting the software do the work for you. Here is the single best location on my suitability surface for 2,500 square acres of continuous area with a compact shape. The problem gets harder, though, if I want to identify the best 3 possible sites, but the Locate Regions tool has no problem delivering the answer. This remains true if I up the ante and look for the best 5 possible sites. Suitability analysis has never been easier. Let's head back up to the airport for my number 5 highlight, which is advanced editing capabilities using map topology. I'm going to zoom into the cargo warehouse area on the southern side of the grounds because I've received a report that one of the gates has been reconfigured and I need to update the markings. Let's fix the issue. Using shared edge editing, I can select the feature that is out of place, and with a single edit, I can move it to the correct location, and all other features that it shares topology with will update automatically. You can use shared edge editing in Pro 1.2 to streamline your editing process. Number 4, automated and efficient workflows. We're going to examine the approach surface for runway 8 left to ensure its compliance with FAA standards for vertical obstructions. With tasks as my guide, I'm going to complete the process of determining which trees need to be cut in order to keep the runway safe and operational. The first step in my task directs me to extrude the recently collected point layer for tree heights. Once complete, I can run the embedded Intersect 3D Line with Multipatch tool to cut the newly extruded lines at the height of the approach surface. The next step will be to take this output layer and divide it into 2 separate layers, allowing me to visualize the heights above and below the surface. From here, I can apply a rule package from CityEngine to create an enhanced visualization showing me the volume of foliage needing removal. I can then use an embedded bookmark in my task to visualize the results and quickly identify exactly which trees need to be cut and at what heights. Now brace yourselves, because in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to cover the final 3 items on my top 10 countdown. Number 3, ArcGIS Pro is WebGIS. What I mean by this is that you can seamlessly share your 2D, 3D, and 4D maps to your portal, including 3D scenes and a projected coordinate system. This way, the workers who will be clearing the approach surface can access my scene from the field. Number 2 is the new Pro licensing model. You can now license ArcGIS Pro 1.2 in whatever way works best for your environment, whether that's using a named user, single use, or concurrent use license. And now, for the number 1 highlight on my top 10 countdown, ArcGIS Pro virtualizes, and it virtualizes well. But don't take my word for it, because you've just witnessed it for the last 10 minutes as I've been working entirely from a virtual environment.